The Karathi War Council fell silent as the humans stumbled into their ceremonial chamber. Sand cascading from tattered clothing, Melissa's boots left bloody prints on the obsidian floor, each step deliberate despite the exhaustion carved into her features. In her hand she carried something that made the assembled alien warriors recoil. Their war chief's ceremonial spear, snapped cleanly in half. "Look what the wind dragged in," Commander Zethrak laughed, his mandibles clicking with amusement. The Karathi were apex predators across 17 star systems, their chitinous bodies engineered by evolution for conquest. "A human, alone!" Melissa dropped the broken spear at his feet. It clattered against the stone with finality. "A message," she said. The laughter died. Zethrak's compound eyes darkened. "You dare bring Warlord Kresh's spear into this chamber? Where is he?" "Dead." Melissa's voice carried no triumph, only statement of fact. "Along with the strike force he sent to our colony. All 300 of your finest warriors." Impossible murmurs rippled through the council. The Karathi had conquered civilizations older and more advanced than humanity. Their warriors were legendary, 7 feet of armored fury, each possessing strength enough to tear steel plating. 300 should have obliterated the small human settlement on Dust's Edge. "You lie," Zethrak hissed, but uncertainty crept into his stance. Melissa reached into her jacket and withdrew a data chip, tossing it onto the war table. "Battlefield recordings. Every angle. Watch if you want. Or don't. Either way, your invasion force is ash in memory." One of the counselors activated the chip. Holographic images flickered to life. The Battle of Dust's Edge played out in brutal detail. The Karathi warriors advancing in their standard phalanx formation, confident, unstoppable. Then the mines detonated. Not where the Karathi expected, but in a pattern that funneled them into killing zones. Human defenders emerging from positions no scanner could detect, firing weapons that seemed crude but devastatingly effective at close range. But it was the final sequence that made the council members shift uncomfortably. It showed Warlord Kresh himself, surrounded by the last remnants of his force, facing a single human male. Burak stood alone in the settlement's central square, carrying nothing but a makeshift blade forged from spacecraft hull metal. "Your warlord demanded single combat," Melissa explained, watching their faces. "Old traditions," he said, "honor. My brother accepted." The recording showed what happened next. Burak was younger, smaller, seemingly outmatched in every physical dimension. Kresh moved with the fluid violence of a predator species perfected over millennia. His first strike should have ended the fight, would have against any ordinary opponent. But Burak wasn't ordinary. None of them were. The Karathi had studied human physiology, dismissed their soft bodies and fragile bones. They had never understood what desperation could forge, what evolution on a death world created. Earth, violent, chaotic Earth, had not given humanity claws or armor or superior strength. It had given them something far more dangerous, adaptability wrapped in relentless determination. Burak didn't win because he was stronger. He won because humans had spent 10,000 years learning to kill things stronger than themselves. Every move he made came from species memory, the knowledge of ancestors who faced saber-toothed tigers with sharpened stones, who hunted mammoths with nothing but cunning and courage. The recording showed Kresh falling, his spear broken by a human who refused to accept defeat even when biology suggested he should. "Impossible," someone whispered. "That's what we keep hearing," Melissa said. "Before the Regellians tried to enslave our outer colonies, before the Thraxian Dominion declared us primitive, before you decided Dust's Edge would make a nice forward base." She stepped closer to the war table, her presence suddenly commanding despite her battered appearance. "We're good at impossible." Zethrak's talons scraped against the table. "One battle proves nothing. We have fleets, armies, resources you cannot imagine." "So did Earth," Melissa countered. "Earth tried to kill us for hundreds of thousands of years. Predators, plagues, ice ages, supervolcanoes, our own planet was our first enemy, and we beat it. You think because you have ships and weapons that you're somehow more terrifying than the world that made us?" She pulled up her sleeve, revealing scars that told their own story. "Every human carries this legacy. We evolved in the crucible of a planet that wanted us dead. We learned to turn everything into weapons, to survive where we shouldn't, to keep fighting when logic says quit. You know what makes humans special in this galaxy, Commander?" Zethrak said nothing. "We don't know when to stop. Other species are sensible. They accept defeat, recognize superior force, calculate odds. We just keep going. We're stubborn to the point of insanity. And that scares you, doesn't it? The silence in the chamber was absolute. Here's the message your warlord's broken spear carries, Melissa continued. Leave humanity alone. All of us, everywhere. Because we don't have the resources for a war, that's true. But we don't need them. Give us nothing but rocks and determination. And we'll find a way to make you bleed for every light year between here and Saul. She turned toward the exit, then paused. Oh, and Commander? There are 37 human colonies in this sector. Each one has someone like Burak. Someone who grew up hearing stories about how Earth forged us hard. Someone who knows that when you're born on a death world, everywhere else is easy mode. Is that a threat? Zethrak demanded. Melissa looked back over her shoulder. No, it's pattern recognition. You're an intelligent species. Presumably you can extrapolate from data. 300 of your best against one small settlement. Do the math on what a real fight would cost you. She walked out of the chamber, leaving the broken spear behind, a monument to miscalculation. 2 months later, the Karathi Empire formally proposed a non-aggression pact with human territories. They never publicly acknowledged why, but their military academies began teaching a new doctrine. Never underestimate species that evolved fighting their own homeworld. And on Dust's Edge, Burak added Kresh's spear to the settlement memorial. Beside a simple plaque, they found out.